Hello and welcome to the Street Crime UK YouTube channel. Please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Today we look at the glamour model who has been left scarred for life after she was stabbed with a screwdriver by another woman in what was being labelled as a revenge attack. Stacy Dolan, 38, suffered a puncture wound to the left side of her face, below the eye, a 1 centimetre laceration on the left knee, and bruising and swelling to the upper right arm after the attack. Ms Dolan was stabbed by 49-year-old Sharon Mather, who confronted her inside her own home and accused Ms Dolan of taking advantage of a friend who gave the victim money. Now, Ms Dolan, who had posed for a string of publications including Front Magazine, Twisted Edge and The Daily Sport, claims she is disfigured and can no longer pose for close-up facial pictures due to the scar on her lip. The mum of two from Wigan, Greater Manchester said, "Since the incident, it has affected my confidence and the way I am. It has made me more self-conscious of being alone. I now no longer use my front door to enter or leave my house. My injuries have healed, but the injury to my face has left me feeling like I have nerve damage to my top lip. It feels like I always have a fat lip. There is still a slight scar that can be seen close up but can be covered with makeup. However, I am aware of the fact that I have this scar and I am now really self-conscious of it. I'm also conscious of how this has affected my modelling career, and I know now that I can no longer accept work that requires me to have close-up face shots. I have 2 small scars on my leg that I am self-conscious of. I also feel that the scar on my face may have also lost me work. Miss Mather, a former carer, was jailed for 5.5 years at Bolton Crown Court after she was convicted of causing grievous bodily harm with intent. The jury heard Miss Mather was drunk and angry when she repeatedly attacked Miss Dolan in Wigan, while one of the victim's young kids slept upstairs. Sentencing the thug, Judge Miss Recorder Alexandra Simmons told her, "You were intent on taking issue with Miss Dolan because you thought she had taken advantage of a friend of yours. It seemed you were drunk and angry and you started arguing about some money which she had apparently taken from your friend. Miss Dolan did not know what you were talking about at first and just wanted to leave. The two of you had been friends before this night, but something had clearly upset you. The state you were in meant you were not prepared to listen to Miss Dolan. You had a screwdriver in your hand. You struck out at her several times, causing 3 separate wounds. It was the final injury to Miss Dolan's face that perhaps brought you to your senses, as you then fled to the property, realising what a terrible thing you had done. Miss Dolan sought help from a neighbour and the police were called, yet you roamed the streets and ended up at the house of an elderly gentleman who you had cared for in the past. The elderly gentleman was extremely concerned about the state you were in, and he thought you had taken drugs or been very drunk. You told him that you had stabbed Miss Dolan, and at first he didn't believe you. He advised you to go to the police, but you didn't. Instead, you left his house and hid at a friend's house. You turned yourself in a few days later. However, one of your friends was concerned you might commit suicide. Miss Dolan is more conscious about being alone in her house. While her injuries have healed, she has some altered sensation in her top lip and there is a slight scar from her face, which she is conscious about because of her modelling career. It is clear you regret your decision to go round to Miss Dolan's house that night, and I am prepared to accept that your behaviour that night was woefully out of character, almost certainly have been affected by the alcohol you had drank that night. Judge Miss Recorder Alexander Simmons continues by telling Miss Mather that you are going to find the prison environment very difficult to cope with given your mental health difficulties. The jury heard Miss Dolan and Miss Mather fell out in July 2014 where Miss Mather believed Miss Dolan had taken money from a mutual friend. In the early hours of July 13th that year, Miss Mather went round to Miss Dolan's home and the brutal attack followed. As the victim ran to her neighbour's home for help, Miss Mather fled the scene and went to the home of an elderly man she previously cared for and confessed she had stabbed the victim. The elderly man advised her to go to the police, but Miss Mather instead hid at another friend's house before surrendering to police a few days later. She later denied any wrongdoing. Katie Jones, prosecuting, said this was a sustained assault on one victim who sustained 3 injuries. There were children present, but they were asleep upstairs. The offence was committed whilst the defendant was drunk or possibly even high. At the time, Miss Dolan had been starting out in her modelling career. Miss Mather denied GBH but was convicted following a trial. She was acquitted of aggravated burglary. Paul Trebley, defending, said, "This is a nasty and unpleasant incident, but it was relatively short-lived. It started at the bottom of the stairs, and the blows were inflicted relatively quickly. As soon as the defendant realised there was a serious injury to the face, she stopped. The injuries were not as serious as they could have been, but I do appreciate the effect it has had upon her. The defendant was on bail for 2 years and lived down the road from the complainant, and nothing else has happened. This incident was very much out of character for Miss Mathers. She is a kind and helpful lady who was generous with her time. The complainant did say at one point that they were friends. She has lived a lawful life for a very long time. So what are your thoughts about this ex-friend assaulting her then friend, Ms Dolan? Miss Mather went on a rampage and assaulted and scarred Miss Dolan during an enraged and unprovoked attack, leaving Miss Dolan with scarring after believing what could only be described as a rumour. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us, and until next time, stay safe.